What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Iccy Show. This is interview 684 interviews I've done. Give this special guest from Sacramento, California to Boston 617 a second to get on here and we will start this Iccy Show. If you want to be a guest, I'm booking to February. Say inbox your girl Jackie Brown with 2 C's, I.E. Brown. On my interviews are $50. We're not just local, we are internationally. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary. My condolences to anyone that has lost anyone. Much love and respect. Free the jizz. Let's go. I hope 2025 is better for everyone. I hope everyone has a better new year. Blessings, all positive vibes. We can make a difference around the world by making more love and having more peace around the world. And prayers. You know, we got to overpower what's going on. But we got to do it. What's up, DJ? Salute, Memphis. I appreciate you tuning in on the Iccy Show. We've been having some technical difficulties, but hopefully we can get him back on here. So bear with us. What's up, Ray? Back on here. We hope we fix the problem. If not, we're going to reschedule. But hold on. Let's keep it positivity and keep it going. Check out yesterday's interview with Sapphire Inc. Don't forget, we got the blue carpet in March. The movie I'm in. It should be in your notifications. It said I sent the invite. It says Aria sent it to you, so if you can just check your notifications. Peace, everyone. Just bear with us. We're trying to get this interview cracking, so stay tuned. Shout out to League of Mob Entertainment. Shout out Free Bands Prince. Shout out to the Iccy Show team. Street Team 2 and my 2 assistants. Let's go. Definitely let's go. Just bear with us. We're having some technical difficulties trying to get this artist on here. I apologize for the difficulty, but hopefully we can get him on here. The next interview is on the 9, 12, 15, 16, 18, 19, 21. All right, I'm going to accept yours. Keep our fingers crossed on this. Here we go. See? Hey, welcome to the Iccy Show. Sub-Zero from Sacramento, California to Boston 7. Welcome to the Iccy Show. This is interview 684 interviews. Much love and respect. We finally got it. I'm glad we didn't give up.
Yes.
And that's you repping Boston 617 very hard right there. The champions with your jersey in the background. I like it. Much love. Let's get it.
Yeah, that was crazy trying to get in here.
I apologize. Hey, at least we got in, and that's what counts.
Yes, it's not. It wasn't your fault. It's the computer world. You know what I'm saying?
Technology, something I don't.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, for the people that don't know of you, what made you start to be in this music industry?
Well, actually, back in the I want to say like in the 1975, 76 area. You know, I was watching people doing the popping and locking and type stuff, and then DJs, you know, mixing and stuff, and it just amused me, and I wanted to take, you know, the knowledge of learning of it and getting involved with that type of stuff. And then I just started, like, basically on my own, started learning that stuff. And then I got together with this guy named MC Romeo. He was a DJ too, and he saw me doing the popping and locking. He was forming a crew called the Grandmasters of the Turntables, and he needed dancers and stuff with him. So I ended up getting into the crew from dancing, and then we turned in. You know, he turned me into a rapper. Basically, he was like, "Hey, I want you to rap," and I was like, "Man, I can't rap. I could just you know, pop lock and graffiti and stuff like that." But yeah, he wrote my rhymes in the beginning, and then I learned how to write my own rhymes. And then, you know, from there on, I've been writing all my own rhymes after I learned my own. And we were called the Beat Boys. And I want to say the time frame of it was 1980. I was in 6th grade, and we went into junior high school because we were playing sports too, like baseball and you know, football, you know, all that stuff. And then, you know, as we were forming our crew, you know, we were putting like mixtapes together. Like back in the day, those were the real mixtapes. They still do mixtapes kind of the same in the East Coast, but everywhere else is not doing it the way that we did it back then. It was a totally different ball game. So we did like a mixtape demo type of thing, and he gave it to his sister, which she was a Los Angeles Raider cheerleader, and she had went to Soul Train and hooked up with the Two Live Crew, because they're Two Live Crew's from LA. They're not from Miami. Only Luke was from Miami. Brother Marquise was from New York. They were all from the military, you know, so that's how they all met. And then they, well, not with Luke, but as far as Chris Wong, rest in peace, and Brother Marquise, rest in peace, and Dave Hobbs, which is his real name, and he's Mr. Mix of the Two Live Crew. He's the one that does their music, and he's the one was basically the leader of the crew, and he got a hold of the demo from her at Soul Train Awards, not Soul Train Awards, the Soul Train dancing, you know, when they go there and dance and stuff. It was kind of like American Bandstand type of thing. Not the Soul Train Awards. It was a Soul Train Live, came on like on Saturdays and stuff. And he got a hold of it, took it back to wherever he took it back to, listened to it. Next thing you know, we're little kids. I want to say we're like 12, 13 age. We could have been 14. I'm pretty sure it was 13 because our album came out in 1984. He liked what he heard. He called us. We did the contracts. We were signed to McCullough Records, which is the first record label distribution promotion company that came from the East Coast. The guy who came with that concept, and he brought it to the West Coast and set up shop in Hollywood on Santa Monica Boulevard. And he had everybody. He had Ice-T. He had Egyptian Lover. He had Bobby Jimmy and the Critters. He had the LA Dream Team. He had JJ Fad. I mean, Eazy-E, NWA, Dr. Dre, Wrecking Crew. I mean, list goes on. And he had us, the Beat Boys, and we were just little kids. We were like the youngest on the record label, making music just like the big boys. You know what I'm saying? And then we signed with McCullough. They brought us out, and the rest is history. We just blew up from there.
How many songs do you think you have out there now?
Oh, as far as me out there, I changed. Our group broke up in the ending of 1988. Yeah. So as far as Beat Boys, we got a full-length album that never got released, and due to the internet now, I'm gonna release it. I'm about to bring that out. But we had singles out. So I could say probably like 5 or 6 singles out, because that's what everybody did on the West Coast back then. We were just doing singles, and the East Coast was doing full-length albums on the 8-tracks. Remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah. 8-track, big old giant. Yeah. So they were doing like vinyl whole albums, cassette whole albums, and the 8-track, you know, whole album on there. But West Coast, we were just pressing, you know, singles back then, you know, and never full-length album, but we did do a full-length album, and I'm bringing it out. You know, it's going to be coming soon. Yes.
When do you think you're going to drop it?
I'm trying to, because McCullough Records, there's a new owner now. His name is DJ Flash, He used to be an artist from back in the day too with Macola when it first started off too. And I want to say Macola started off like in like the 82, 83, 84 area. Is, you know, they were putting it together still in the 80s or whatever, but those are the times when the first releases were coming out. We came out with the first release batch, and then there's a second release batch, and then they were letting us do our sub labels. Eazy-E and them ended up doing Ruthless Records. We were called Romeo Records because MC Romeo is the one that started off our whole crew. So we allowed, yeah, so the whole crew, not allowed, he was like the king of the group, but we agreed to let him, you know what I'm saying, put it under his name. You know what I'm saying? MC Romeo, and it was Romeo Records / Macola Records. Yeah. And when we dropped, and I want to stamp the date, 1984 is the date. It could have been 83, but 84 I stamped the date on, from my knowledge. And we went worldwide. We went from Los Angeles. I'm from Sacramento. I'm the first born and raised rapper from Sacramento. Okay? Yeah, so no matter what they try to say, all these artists, a lot of them are not even from Sacramento, but they moved out here. And, you know, I understand they went to our elementary schools and stuff, but I'm the first born and raised out of the building rapper that can show birth certificate, you know what I'm saying, from Sacramento. So that ends that story. So then we dropped, and we blew up from Hollywood. So I've been a Hollywood household name since, you know, I was like 13, 14 years old and stuff. So I'm not trying to make it to the top. I'm already at the top, and I'm just looking down, and I'm bringing up everybody from, you know, from the ground, the underground, into the mainstream with me. I already been mainstream from day one. So we hit everywhere. I'm on not just me, my boy MC Romeo too. We're on magazine covers in Japan. You know what I'm saying? We got people from the Philippines loving our stuff. We got people in Germany. We got all that stuff. And I released it house music first too, in Northern California. They didn't know what that was. So I brought house music out back in 1988. They didn't even know what it was. They didn't know how to mix it into their music. They didn't know what to do with it. They looked at me crazy, all the DJs. I was like, hey, check this out. Play this. And they were like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? So so basically that's what's been going on with me from back then. And, you know, now, as far as the ending of 1988, 1989, I became Sub-Zero. And I'm the first Sub-Zero. No Mortal Kombat was even thought of. No Sega was even a machine. Yeah. Okay, so I'm the original Sub-Zero. And soon as I get my bag, you know, I'm going to go after Mortal Kombat, and I'm going after Sega for using my name without my permission, because I got the name patent. The refrigerator where I got my name from, Sub-Zero refrigerators, they go way back to probably the 1800s, but probably the early 1900s or something. They were the first refrigerators ever created, and they're called Sub-Zero. So I got the name from off of that. Okay, and then I had to call them so I don't get sued. And they gave me permission. They said, since you're an entertainer, we give you permission because we're not entertainment. You know, they're metal and liquid type stuff. So anyone who's making stuff under their, you know, using the Sub-Zero name, making skates and water or whatever you're trying to make without their permission, they're gonna come after you too. Right. So I own it as far as entertainment, Sub-Zero. And I'm the first original. So Mortal Kombat is going to have to get my autograph.
Okay. Salute. Keep on going. Don't let nobody stop you as you're doing.
Yes.
What is your favorite 3 songs to perform?
I like performing all my songs as far as Sub-Zero songs. Let's Prance was my first single that I dropped as Sub-Zero. It kind of has the hood beat on it and a little bit of the house beat on it. I kind of created that sound, and then now there's a lot of people out there trying to, you know, copy the sound, but they can't copy it, but they try to. And that's basically one of my favorite songs I like to do, Let's Prance, and it, you know, it skyrocketed on the charts because it was something different. And then I like there's another song called Lady Mercedes. That was like my hit, one of my hit songs. I got a video out. I did it in Beverly Hills at the Party Mansion. I was the first rapper to do it at the Party Mansion in Hollywood. Well, not Hollywood, Beverly Hills. You probably saw that mansion. It oversees the whole Beverly Hills. He's on the hill by himself, the guy who owns it, and he oversees the whole Beverly Hills. He let Playboy magazine do their little Playboy channel stuff inside there. They rent it out and do all their little stuff. And then guess who came after me? You probably don't know. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg came after your boy Sub-Zero and did Murder Was the Case That They Gave Me.
Wow.
And then the Dog Pound came after him, and they did that high and seek song. I don't know the title of it, but they're in the jacuzzi swimming pool. That's the same house that your boy Sub-Zero went in first. I set the ground for as professional because they didn't want nothing to do with rap music when I first was coming into the game. You know what I'm saying? When we were trying to come do stuff, they're like, no, because the rappers were known for tearing up stuff. You know, you had the Beastie Boys going to hotels, wrecking them and stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was just crazy. Yeah, it's more crazy now, but back then it was coming in crazy and stuff. You know, Beastie Boys, and I can't remember all the groups that were doing stuff, but yeah. So they allowed me to, you know, do my video there. I had Playboy magazine models there, had Frederica Hollywood models there, had Victoria's Secret models there. I had my own models there because I got a company called Sub-Zero Models. And one of my models is in the movie Rush Hour Part 1, the first one. She's the Asian girl where they snatched, Jackie Chan snatched the chain off of her neck. So if you saw that movie, those who haven't saw it, go watch Part 1, Rush Hour Part 1, the restaurant scene where the Asian girl, she's the waitress walking, and Jackie Chan went and snatched the necklace off her neck that I guess he got it given to him from the little girl or her parents or something. I don't remember. I got to go see it again too. But that's one of my models. Okay, she's in the she's in Lady Mercedes video when it starts off. She's the one in the Mercedes, and she's the one on the ground by the symbol of the Mercedes thing. Mercedes-Benz sponsored the video. Body Glove International sponsored the video. And basically we were the first ones to bring in the V12s because the Mercedes-Benz was a V8, and they were just building the V12s, and they used my video to be the commercial to bring it all in. Yeah, so it came out. It looks like this, and it was selling like hotcakes. It was selling like hotcakes. Yeah. So this girl right here, I don't really want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. She was the penthouse centerfold pet during the 1984 is when Sub-Zero Lady Mercedes video hit the world, and she was the centerfold inside penthouse pet. So she's from Fair Oaks, California, which is in Sacramento County, and I saw her and I wanted her in my video, so she's in my video, but she's not Lady Mercedes. Lady Mercedes is the one that's all over me in the video and stuff.
Okay, that's awesome. Do you have a manager right now?
Actually, I manage myself, and I do got my boy EEE. He's he helps with my management too. Yeah, basically me and him are just kind of doing our thing, but I'm willing to talk to anybody. Trying to do
you have any shows?
Do I have what?
Any shows coming up?
That I don't have right now. I've just been doing interviews, you know, the podcast interviews. I got an album that's about to drop, you know, I went to the Dirty South in the Midwest, and I got T.I., I got Young Jeezy, I got Young Dolph, I got Drummer Boy. He's the one who opened the door for me. DJ Drummer Boy, if you guys know who that is from the Drum Squad. All that stuff's on my timeline. And I got 3-6 Mafia. I got Paul Wall. I mean, the list goes on. Gucci Mane. I think I said that already. 2 Chainz. I mean, the list goes on. Who's all on my project about to come out on my self-independent label that I had since 1989. and it's still solid out there. You know what I'm saying? I had a JVC, Sony, Tower Records was my number one. They sponsored me. They were the number one because you have to have Tower Records to sell your record. They were the first ones to make a record store, and they're out of my city, Sacramento, California. Believe it or not, they were the first. And then as far as promotions, because I do that more now, I'm a promoter more now, and I'm coming out of the camp of Bill Graham Presents, and he's the one that did Woodstock. So that's the camp that's running my promotion team. Not all of them, just some of the individuals in there. So because a lot of people are like, how did you get into all these doors? They're seeing me with full page write-ups in Hollywood Reporter. They're seeing me in the Daily Variety. They're seeing me in the Rolling Stone magazine with I did a full page with, it was Tupac's interview, and then it had they were mentioning my stuff in the same thing, and he's my favorite rapper, just to let you guys know. They had my stuff in the same thing with Tupac. So people are like trying to figure out how I got in those doors. It's because of all the power players that were behind me. So I didn't go and like sell my soul out, because that does happen in the music industry. People sell their souls and stuff. But I'm a leader. So if I'm not leading the concept, whoever's coming to me with a contract or trying to talk hype to me or whatever, and if I don't agree with it, then it's not going down. You know what I'm saying? Because I got my own power to make it happen, because I've been doing this since, like I said, 1980 is when I got involved. 1980 to right now is 2024. So I've been hitting the pavement and hitting offices, and I got on the internet in 2000, and just I'm consistent with my record label. So I am not going to let someone just come in and try to take over my business. You know what I'm saying? After all the hard work I did, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Is there anything holding you back in your career right now?
No, I'm just trying to finish this. This album that I got, there's a few of them. It's not just that one. I got a few of them dropping right after I dropped that. I'm just trying to finish all that up. I don't rush my project. I guess you could say I'm kind of like Dr. Dre is. Dr. Dre don't rush his projects. And, you know, everyone's still waiting for Detox, you know, and how many years has that been? I take my time, and then I finally, you know, once I think it's good enough, I release it. I tried the other way where you just go in the studio, rush your stuff, and then put it out, and then you regret it later. Some people might like it, some people might not, but you're the one that put it out, and you're like, I don't like it. You know what I mean? I don't like the way it sounds, I don't like the way it went, or whatever. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to release it when I feel like I'm going to release it. I control my own destiny, so I'm not trying to be part of all this stuff. People, you know, I got a lot of people come to me and they're telling me what they can do for me. And I said, do you understand? I started your position. I did all the stuff you guys are trying to do now, and you're coming to me. I started your position. You know what I'm saying? The title of what you're doing, you know, I did it first. Yeah. So basically that's it on that part.
You got a tour coming up for 2025?
After the album comes out, then I'm gonna be thinking on all that type of stuff, because I got agencies that come at me. Oh, my agent, he blew up. His first blow up. His name is Norman Winters, and abbreviated it's NWA. That's where NWA, I want to say, got their kind of their abbreviation name from, but maybe not. I don't know. But he was their agent too, and he's Garth Brooks' agent. And his first blow up was the movie The Big Chill. Okay. And his name is Norman Winters. He's the first one to put Michael Jackson on the magazines. Yes. I don't remember what magazine. I think it was Rolling Stone. But he was the first one to put him on the magazine cover and blow him up into the industry. The whole Jackson 5 Victory Tour. He was behind all that. You know what I'm saying? So that's my agent. And then I had Don Podler. I don't know if you know him. He's a guy that gets people, you know, silver and gold and platinum, you know, promotions out there. That's he's known for. He's big out of Hollywood too. And so I got agents, and I got public relations. I got all the stuff in my camp, but I don't want to just be rushing stuff out. You know what I'm saying? I try to do everything in order. So there will be a tour coming because the SMD project, which I released, and what that is SMD stands for Sacramento's Most Dangerous. That's my title I was given by certain radio stations because of my business, and plus I'm not so you can just push over. You know what I'm saying? There's some things I walk away from when it comes my way, but there's a lot of stuff I will freeze you, like Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat will do. I will freeze you. So, but that's not good business to do that. You know what I mean? It's best to, you know, be the bigger guy and walk away and handle stuff on a legal tip if they like it or not. You know, some people get in this business and they come with the street mind frame, and you're trying to run a business. So they come at you and they think you're gonna just come back at them street too. And if you do that, you're gonna lose your business. You're gonna lose everything you built. So I don't roll like that. I'm gonna hit you legal, get that taken care of, and then, okay, you want to do street? We can do street now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all out in the open now. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I handle all that. But as far as your question, touring is coming because all the artists I'm working on 10 projects right now, and they're SMD projects. I got five and six are the ones that I'm leaking, messing around with. Not 5 and 6. 1 through 6, and then 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm still messing around with them in the lab and stuff. And I got a lot of celebrities that you guys, you know, like, you know, and a lot of them won, you know, the I guess you call it Grammys or whatever, because some of them do movies and all that stuff too. But they won music awards and all that stuff. All those kind of artists are on my projects, and they're coming out on my independent label. Like I said, my independent label used to be called Subgroove Records, but I changed it to Sub-Zero Entertainment because I wanna do a broader, you know, aspect of everything. I want to do everything under my umbrella, not just a record label. So I do everything. We got food trucks, you know, we do food. We got food banks or food closet or whatever you want to call it, where we feed the homeless and stuff. So I got an organization. We actually feed the homeless. We give them blankets. We give them books. We give them clothes. We give them shoes. Our organization, SMD, is bigger than music. We're bigger than music. We're changing lives. We're changing lives on a daily. Just go on my timeline on Facebook or Instagram. Just type in Sub-Zero SMD, and you'll see everything that I got going on, and it's all real. I'm watching people's lives change. I got like the judge, the state of California. I'll use that, and then, you know, Texas, because my main hookup is in Texas to do, you know, working with the youth and all that. My signature gets people out of prison. My signature gets people out of juvenile hall, girls camps, boys camps, any of that type of stuff. They'll contact me, and I work with you. And if I see there's a potential of you, you know, being good to society or whatever you want to call it, I sign that paper. They go off of my word, and you're out there back functioning, you know, in life on public. So that's the power that I have too.
That's awesome. Definitely keep on going. I like that. I like to hear change that someone can make when someone's locked inside. So we need you around for a long time to keep on doing that and making the difference for other people's family and loved ones that are locked in, trying to come out to make a difference.
Yes. So do you remember the story on the little boy Ryan White?
Yeah.
It was the Ryan White AIDS Foundation. Did you know I was behind that? Did you know I was behind that?
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big.
Yeah. Their family contacted me because of what I do. You know, working with the youth, and you know, I work with adults too, and not just youth. Because some adults are still youth-minded. The what?
You only do it out in California, or you do it all around?
No. We work worldwide.
Okay.
Yeah, we work worldwide. Yes. So the Ryan White AIDS Foundation contacted me, and they wanted me to get behind the Michael Jackson project. Remember, you know, the project was called Gone Too Soon. It's a slow song. You Google it, YouTube it, or whatever, it'll pop up. It's the single's called Gone Too Soon. And that's because Ryan White died, and Michael Jackson was friends with Ryan White, and Elton John was friends with Ryan White. I mean, that's a whole nother big thing that I was a part of and stuff. So I was the promoter to that single. I helped the Ryan White Foundation get that stuff out there, marketing and all that with Michael Jackson. You know, because remember Michael did his own little label.
Yes.
Yeah, he had his own little label jumping off. And then I was a part of when Prince put Slave on his face, and he went to, you know, his little Paisley Park with New Power Generation, and he came to Tower Records. I was a promoter for Tower Records, and I was behind helping push his stuff to keep his stuff going because him and Warner Brothers were clashing. So I was helping keeping his stuff still going out in the industry. It was called Bayside Distribution. It was a distribution under Tower, which they owned, and it was just a distributing type thing. So a lot of your artists you listen to from way back from the I want to say the 80s to, you know, the 90s and stuff, I was behind a lot of their labels or the artists themselves distribution, like getting them out there, you know, further than local. Yes.
Do you use the same DJ or do you have multiple DJs?
I got multiple DJs. Yeah, basically, yeah, I got multiple. But my favorite DJ that I like from the camp is Mixmaster Mike. You know Mixmaster Mike, the Beastie Boys. Yeah, he's from Daly City. Yeah, he's from the Bay Area, but he lived in Sacramento, and we met up. You know what I'm saying? And he's part of my camp of all the DJs that I'm affiliated with. Because I used to have my own night. Yeah, I used to have my own nightclub. I used to have my own restaurant. It was like a deli, Philadelphia cheesesteak type of place. You know, and we had the owners from Philadelphia Cheesesteak, the ones that created the idea. They flew in, come taste our sandwiches, and gave us thumbs ups. You know what I'm saying? So I have my hands in a lot of stuff that's been, you know, going on out there.
Awesome. Keep on going. Definitely. Much love and respect. Salute from the Iccy Showw. Do you use the same producers or do you use multiple different producers? I see you rep Celtics over there. You know, Celtics got me worried. They got me really worried.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it. I got 18 championships, and it started. Hey, you guys see the banner?
Yeah.
It started in 1957. The first one was 1957. Then, you know, we had 2023, 24. Yeah, I ain't worried about it. 18 championships, you know.
Keep on going.
Huh?
Don't let nothing stop you repping for Boston.
This is Larry Bird shirt.
Yeah.
This is Larry Bird. He's on the back. He's on the back. His name Larry Bird's on the back, but this number 33, Larry Bird all day. You know what I'm saying? That's my player.
That's a legend right there, Larry Bird.
Yeah, a legend with a legend. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I see you.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
If you could pick a feature with 3 people in the industry or not in the industry, who would it be to do a project with or a feature?
Like, I basically got a lot of them that I want already, but I want Little Durk. I want Little Durk.
Okay.
I want Little Durk. I want Cypress Hill.
Okay.
Let me think on the other one. I basically got everybody already that's coming out of my projects. Who else is out there that I would want? I gotta think more on that one. Because Little Durk's like the main one that I really, really, really want. And Cypress Hill.
That can make Little Durk get a feature with him or do a project. Let's make that happen. You know, legends right here. So, you know, he started the industry a long time ago and he's still going. You see, he has the big album coming out. And it's definitely going to release in 2025, that album you're talking about?
Yes. There's more than just one, though. It's part 6. It's part. Yes. Part 6 is the one that's about to drop with a lot of those names that I just named off. But there's more. There's more names that I can't think of everybody right now. I got a lot going on in my brain. So, but then I got part 7 dropping. And you know Rashida from Hip Hop Atlanta? You know
Yes.
Well, yeah, Rashida raps. A lot of people don't know that, but I'm about to let you guys know that. You know what I'm saying? So I got Rashida, and she's got a feature on there that she has, on her song, and I'm gonna have it as a surprise guest. And she's an artist that you guys all know, and she's like #1 female rapper out there, though. But I'm just gonna let you know. I'm just gonna have it shown to you guys as a surprise guest because this is independent. I'm independent with these heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? And they all came in. They all came on my project exclusive because of the way I run my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get over on people. I want you to work though. If you don't work, then you shouldn't expect to eat the way I eat. But if you work, then you can eat the way I eat. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna make sure that your copyrights are done. All your legal stuff's done. I know all the lingo, and I got lawyers, I got friends that are lawyers, but I already know the lingo, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been in this so long. So people contact me to get their stuff all registered with ASCAP or BMI or whatever. I know how to do all that stuff. But what I'm not gonna do anymore is let people use me. Okay? Right. There's a lot of CEOs out there that are millionaires, and they didn't even buy me Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying? What does Taco Bell has a dollar? There's a dollar menu, right? At Taco Bell, you can get stuff for $1. They didn't even buy me a dollar Taco Bell. You know, man, they used me up. I got them all out there from them meeting up with me. They had nothing going on. They met up with me. I step by step showed them the ropes all the way into the industry because I'm already there. So all I do is, like, when you come to me, like your show right now, all my big players in the game are gonna see this, and you're gonna see your stuff just start going crazy and stuff. But I got I got them all hooked up in these doors, and then they got in. Their music was good. That's why I got behind it. It was because of the music, not because of their business, but because of their music that they were bringing to the table. And so I helped get that stuff out there. It blew up, and then they didn't know your boy no more. But a lot of people told me, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Your day will come where you get blessed and all that. I seen blessings happening, but I just don't like a person when they tell me something and then they don't do it. They give me their word and say, hey man, once the money comes in, I don't have that right now, and I'll take care of you, and then nothing happens. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good.
Artists pretend they promote themselves as an artist, and they do this and do that. They don't stay consistent. They be rather hit the streets, and instead of really, trying to make a difference, like look at all the programs you offer, you try to get people out of jail. That's major. A lot of people don't really care about that. And they only care about making money or themselves. They don't want to build a team.
Yeah,
and
but
they try to go, they try to get an interview. Then they don't want to, put the footwork on promoting when they have an interview. And I'm like, if you're an artist, you got to stay consistent. You got to promote yourself. And it's like, it's sad because it's like, you shouldn't call yourself an artist. And there's a lot of them out there. But I commend you. You salute from the Iccy Show. Definitely. You get it because you stay consistent from the beginning when hip hop started to where you are, and you started so young, and you're still going, and you're opening up other doors for other people, not just yourself. So God has plans for you, and I salute to you. Definitely keep on going. Definitely.
Yeah. So if I want to see people make it, because I didn't get into this business for the money part of it. I got in this business for the love of hip hop and the love of rap and the love of the whole culture and stuff. And then Eazy-E, he was the main one that come into the business and started showing us, hey, you can make money. We can make money independent off of this stuff. We wasn't even thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? We just show up to shows, perform, take off. You know what I'm saying? Give our stuff to the record labels, and they were getting paid and stuff. We didn't know nothing about all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Tell Eazy-E and then Master P. You know what I'm saying? And I used to run mom and pop stores out here. My friends were the owners of them, but they had me hopping around. The public saw me when they came to the stores always. They saw me. We threw car shows outside the store. We did all kinds of stuff. Record store signing where we had the artists come there and sign autographs, all that. And I'm posting slowly all this stuff on my timelines on all my. I'm on at least 200 website type of, like the Facebook type stuff. But MySpace, I really blew up on. I had like 1 million viewers and stuff when MySpace was popping, and my music was like 1 million people listening to it. And I didn't pay nobody to do it because a lot of people are on the, got their podcasts and they got their, just whatever they got going on in the social media. These people contact you in your inbox and they're like, hey, I can play you this many times a day if you pay for this. I want my stuff to grow organic and naturally. I'm not against someone doing that if that's what they have to do to get more followers and get money, stars or whatever, all that stuff, the likes or whatever, more power to that. I grew naturally. All the artists I worked with grew naturally and blew up into the industry. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. But like I said, I'm not against, if someone's like, give me $5 and I'll bring you 500 people. I'm not against that. Yes.
Right.
But then I wanted to show these guys this too. This is the SMD out there that all the collectors are contacting me for. Yeah. This is my first one I put out there. I have the Bay Area Herm Lewis. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's the spokesman from the Bay Area. He put a compilation that just blew up out there from the Bay. He had RBL Posse, Mac Mall. He had everybody on his projects. And that's where I kind of got my idea of, bringing Sacramento people together on one project together. And so this is a cassette. A lot of people don't know what these are. And you can if you love hip hop or love rap, you need to get one of these in your hand and put it in a tape player. You got to go find one, probably at a thrift store somewhere or a pawn shop, but you probably can find one online and put the cassette in and listen to the cassette. This sounds like a CD, just to let you know, because my sound is always going to be top notch. So this is what the cassettes look like if you guys never saw one. And here's another one. This is to my lady.
You want to come to Cali? I'm coming
next.
I had that.
Yeah, this is my other album that blew up out there. Yes, and and I already showed you guys this, but this is, some people never saw this before. This is a VHS tape. This is Lady Mercedes. I blew up. I was in the top 10 hottest videos that come out. You know what I'm saying? Rest of Development, they were above or below me, something, I don't remember. But anyway, I was on the top 10 when this first came out in my Lady Mercedes video. But yeah, and then my boy E-double-E, his business is so powerful. I got my own Lady Mercedes toy that's out there. You know what I'm saying? It's a toy. Yeah, it's a toy. It's a Mercedes toy. You know what I'm saying? So we doing it.
Yes, sir.
We're doing it.
Yes. How many awards you got so far in your career?
Say that again.
How many awards you got so far in your career?
Only awards I got are achievement awards from working with the public and stuff. Like far as music, I got a lot of nominated type stuff. Like they nominated my video. They nominated just recently. I've been getting nominated for my rap and my promoting and my struggle, just my overall. So basically the ones that hit my fingertips are from working with the public and the youth and stuff like that. I got them in a press kit.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's that, a kid?
Hey, look. Yeah.
Oh, you're really a Celtics fan. That's what I'm talking about. From Boston 617 to Sacramento.
This is my little homie. When I have him with me, we usually win. We usually win. Yeah, this is my right here. That's the little. Yeah, that's my little homie right there, the Celtic Bear.
Okay. That's the exclusive right there.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to Celtics has been my team since elementary. When I was in elementary school. I'm true to all my teams. I know that people say you're in Sacramento and you guys got the Sacramento Kings, but let me tell you something. I'm a Celtics fan. And the Kings I do like because they're here, but they're from Kansas. I wasn't a Kansas King fan, okay? And just to let you know, the Sacramento Kings, well, back then, they were the Kansas Kings. They got 2 championships in Kansas, and then they came here, you know what I'm saying? But I like the Sacramento Kings, and I'll go to their games. I'll support because they're here supporting with money in my county and stuff. Because, you know, I say this is my county because I'm born and raised here. You know what I'm saying? So 916 is me all the way till my casket drops.
You think you would ever leave California and go somewhere else, or you think you're gonna stay?
I've been other places. I didn't stay long due to the weather.
You won't.
Yeah, so
like Boston, man. You definitely won't like Boston. We got freezing, cold, snow.
yeah, I went to Texas for a little bit. And it was we had the air conditioner. I was in first in Plano, and then I was in Fort Worth. Yes, both of them were hot. Yeah, so in Plano is supposed to be the richest part of Texas, and that's where the Cowboys live with the big mansion homes and all that stuff. Yes. We have the air conditioner on, but it still feels like a sauna, out there. And then, you don't know when the weather's going to change. You can go outside, it's sunny, and then within it could be 10 to 20 minutes, you can see sheds coming all down the street, like a shed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and trees, and that wind blows crazy out there, and it brings, all that type of stuff starts floating around in the air.
That's Texas?
Yeah.
I need to tell my daughter. My daughter was thinking about moving to Texas.
Yeah, that was it. That was when I was in Plano.
Wow.
Yeah, when the weather really hit, it really hit. I was like, I'm going back to Sacramento. So I came back to Sacramento. I was I'm not. I'll come visit, but I'm not staying out. So I'm more comfortable. I lived in the Bay too for a little bit. Yeah, out in the far as that's just down the street though. But
have you ever?
And then we had to say that.
Have you ever served time? Because I know you're helping a lot of people that are inside jail and stuff like that. Have you ever served time yourself?
Are you trying to ask me if I was a hip hop criminal?
No, I'm just saying in general. Have you ever served time? Because
No, I'm not. No, I never served time because the structure I was under would help the youth to keep us from going into stuff like that. So we call them our big homies, or you could call them the OG, the real OGs. Okay, they're in their 60s and 70s, and some of them are in their 80s. They would sit us down on the porch, and they said, you don't want to be like me. You know what I'm saying? They'll see the talent that we had going on in sports and music, and no matter what it was. They said, you don't want to be like me. Okay? So do your career, do your hobby, go do that. You know what I'm saying? I was under the umbrella of that. But yes, I have got in street troubles before. I got in situations where the police, I've been handcuffed, but as far as going into a jail cell, no, or a prison cell, and I would never promote that for a person to do. Right. That's not the life.
Right.
Yeah. The fake studio gangster rappers that I know, I'm not gonna mention their names, but they know who they are. They were promoting that stuff to get people locked up and put in those jails for the private prisons and stuff. Some of the record labels own prisons, or they invest in prisons. So they don't even, I'm trying to keep it real with everybody. People really don't like rap music. They really don't like it because of the culture of it being gangster. It was kind of like the gang kind of stuff first, starting off, graffitiing and popping and locking and all that. But it was always a neighborhood gang type of concept from the jump. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't like none of that stuff. And then they started seeing the corporate America started seeing you could make money off of this stuff. So they started getting involved and promoting into it and all that. And then telling people like Public Enemy, my boy Paris from the Bay, the Coop, There's a lot of them that try to kick that knowledge of, not self-destructing. Like KRS One does it too. Don't self-destruct. Like Run DMC did it too. Curtis Blow and all them did too. And Grandmaster Flash, The Message, yeah, they were kicking that type of rap, and they were like, nope, we don't want that because it's gonna help people succeed. We want them locked up or dead, because there's big money in being locked up. There's a lot of money into being locked up, and there's a lot of money into you being dead.
Right. And that's what I understand when I'm always telling them. I said, when you put in guns in your videos, things like that, you better make sure that you put that it's not a real one, because they're cracking down on a lot of artists, local, international, everywhere. Everywhere I find out, I hear something else about another artist get locked up, and it has to do with their music videos. And I tell artists, your music videos be smart about it. You don't need to always talk about killing this one, killing that one, or repping this or repping that, or turn around putting guns and thinking you have bigger guns than this, a Tommy gun this, or whatever, the AK-47. Like, no, that's not what it's about. It's about changing for the youth, and people don't understand that until you're in a situation. You're like, damn, I got indicted for what? What did I do? And it's like, that's why I'm about the youth. I go to a food bank every single month in Haverhill, Massachusetts, and I go and I help the community every single month, twice a month, because I want to give back to the community what I can do, and it's a good feeling, and I know I'm helping lots of families, and they appreciate it. The people that don't appreciate it are the ones that are the wise ones that don't care. They don't care if loved ones get killed, and then they want to retaliate, and that's not what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be uniting. We're supposed to come together. We're supposed to make peace. We're supposed to make more love, and people don't get that. We're destroying our own earth without people coming together, and people need to come together, because I'm 46 years old, and when I was younger, you could have Crips, you could have Bloods, you could have Latin Kings, you could have everyone together, and then it wouldn't be an issue. Now you go in and it's like, oh, a shove here, then something cracks off, and then this one, then retaliating on this one, and we got to stop that. That's what people need to understand. Like, the youth are what is the future. And if the youth doesn't have a structure, they're not going to have nothing. They're going to take away all the shows. You think when COVID hit that we lost all those shows? Imagine what the youth is going to have in 20 years. You think they're going to allow rap, hip hop? Look at all these innocent bystanders that are dying. Look at all these young rappers that are disappearing. And it's sad. And it's like, you know what? Just change your music up a little bit. That's all you're going to do. Put something different in your videos instead of guns, about killing people, talk about the youth, talk about the Bible, and that will make a big difference. And people don't understand. They think I don't know what I'm talking about, but I've been in this industry since 2008, and I stayed consistent, never stopped. I was pregnant, had my kids, everything. I stayed consistent. I did 2 tours all by myself, and, I've been with big record labels. I've been with people that are big record labels. I had a record label underneath me, Master Hustle Records from Boston. And it's like, people don't understand. Like, when you sit there and you talk rah, 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 but you're not really making a difference and making peace, you're making a difference with the youth. And that's what you're doing. You're making a salute to you. Like, you deserve to have an award just for doing that. Because a lot of people don't care about the youth because they're caring about themselves in this industry, about rapping. They're not thinking about putting the kids in there, having them play basketball, rap about that, like soccer, football. Like, I commend Snoop Dogg 1,000%, because he did for the youth with the football, trying to make a difference for the youth, and that's important. A lot of people don't do that. They don't give a crap what this youth's doing. I tell people, when you're at work working 2 and 3 jobs or whatever your case may do, always know where your kid is, because all it takes is 2 seconds for your kid to disappear, or God forbid something to happen, and you think your kid is at someplace else. We need to go. That's why technology. They have a phone. Make sure you stay in contact with them. Not make your kid, God forbid. I know people don't have the time sometimes due to the fact of what's going on and working 2, 3 jobs, but We got to make a difference for the youth, and that's very important. And I commend you 1000%, Sub-Zero, because you're doing it for the children. You're doing it for the youth, and you're making a difference for the people that are inside jail. Look at your signature means something. You can get somebody out of jail. That's very powerful. And people, we need you. You should actually run in the state house. Honestly, I've been around from state people, state house people, and you know, and people at the White House. I've been around them. And what I see is that, you know, everyone, there's some people that are on the same page, but there's some people on the outside that, like you said, all they care about locking up people, locking up the youth. You got to pay attention to these schools too. These schools are fucked up. They're very fucked up. And I'm saying it with the cussing because no disrespect to anyone, because the schools, it's like a prison. Think about it. The food is like a tray, like when you're in jail. They're locked up in the classroom. You know, they got certain restrictions. If they don't follow it, they get kicked out of that school. They're getting suspended. Suspended's like being in a lockdown 24/7. You know, that's what people don't understand. And it's like, when I see these youths, that's why I always see them. I go up to them. When I see trouble, I go up to them. You know, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But at least I'm trying to make a difference for these two kids not to crack off to each other. I'm trying to separate them, you know, and it's someone else's kid. And we need to do that as adults. Like when kids were out of control when we were younger, you know, the old OGs would step up and be like, listen, you're not doing that on this block. You're not going to be doing that here. And that's what we need to do as OGs. Like, I'm 46. I consider myself OG. The young ones, they all know me. They call me, what do they call me? What's the word they call me? Oh, it's something mama. What is it? Say it. Say the word.
What are you talking about?
What did your friend call me? Just say it.
What are you talking about?
You're not listening. They call me, say the word. It's something mama, they call me on the street. It will come to me. I forget what they call me, but it's because I'm always trying to make a difference. Like if I see a kid in line, I always say this to an adult. If you see a child and they're buying food or a snack, buy it for them. If it's a couple of dollars, so they can save that couple of dollars, because it's so hard for them to get a job. It's so hard for them to get food. It's so hard to survive nowadays. And I understand parents aren't they're working and stuff like that, you know, and we just got to make a difference, a positive change. I mean, look at California. Yesterday they had an earthquake of 7 point something, and that's major. And I believe it has to do with the war, with all these chemicals in the air going everywhere, and it's, you know, everything happening with Atlantic, the ocean, you know, all these water the wildfires, you know, the water. And I'm telling people, in your music, you can rap about that. We're dealing with stuff from the Bible, and it's like you can put that out there instead of talking about killing this one. Oh, I'm on your block chilling, but I'll shoot you up. No, that's not what we're not supposed to be talking about. We're supposed to make
there is a movement, and I've been telling everybody ever since I came on social media. I was foretelling before Cat Williams was saying what he said in his interview. I came into social media telling everybody there's a spiritual movement coming through. God is cleaning up right now, and he's cleaning up. And watch 2025 is going to get even more deep cleaning. There's a big deep cleaning coming, and a lot of people don't understand it. But if you got to study to show thyself approved. And you know, examine and study your heart and your mind. But usually a lot of people, I don't know really how to say it. They just want to. Only reason why a lot of people start thinking they're tough is from listening to NWA. Okay, before that, people was not really too much trying to act tough and bad and all that stuff. And then the movie Colors came out before NWA, but the movie Colors, you know, they glorified the gang life. And then Menace to Society, and you know, Boys in the Hood. I mean, just all that type of stuff. But they had messages. The people don't want to hear the positive or to see the message part. They just want to do the bad parts of the stuff. But that goes along with society. If the government it starts in the White House, and it starts United Nations. It just starts with all that stuff, and certain churches too. There's certain churches. It's called truth and error mixed. So they bring in truth, and then they capture you more with the bad stuff, the negative stuff. You know what I mean? So it confuses your mind to like Babylon, and Babylon means confusion. Yeah. So you don't know what to believe. You don't know what to have faith in. You don't know what to do because you're watching TV, listening to music, people on the streets, and just everywhere you go, you're seeing the evil side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why these young ones, we got to make a difference, and people don't understand that. Like, they call me Mama Dukes. That's what they call me in the streets. And it's like in Haverhill, Massachusetts, the youth, they all know of me. From the elementary to the middle school to the high school, because I went, I turned around and went face to face talking to the mayor, the old mayor that was in Haverhill, Massachusetts. And, like, I was like, how are you a mayor in this city when you turn around and you're not caring about no one's kids? And that was a destruction to me. And then I was like, you know what? I need to get more involved in this community. I need to make a difference, because when I'm seeing the younger ones and discrimination's happening, and it's like, no, I'm on the border. I'm on the border of New Hampshire to Massachusetts. So that's where I'm at. And it's like, you see the difference if you cross over that border, you getting pointed out. You don't belong over here because of your color. And it shouldn't be like that. And I hate that. I'm mixed. My family's mixed. And it's like, when I see that, I'm like, you know what? We need to make a difference. If we don't make a difference, these children aren't going to have nothing. And I've been saying this since I started my Iccy Showw 6 years ago. And the reason why I keep on going with my show is because I keep on stressing it to these artists that we need to make a difference. You talk about money, throwing money in the club, throwing money in that. What about all the youth centers that are gone? What about all the Boys and Girls Club that aren't here no more? What about the churches that these kids used to go after school for the afternoon program? They don't have no funds. So invest in that. That's what I love about Snoop Dogg, 1000%, because he turned around and he had the football team for the kids, trying to make it different, a positive from their negative at home, what's going on, but still try to get them to get out there. And I love that. Anyone that does anything for the children, that is where we're supposed to be. If everybody comes together in this world and tries, if they can do something for the youth, that is what we need to do at this time. We don't got a second chance for tomorrow. Look at what our world's going like all crazy. Look at what's happening across the world. God forbid if anything goes off, and we demolish everything, we're screwed. Nobody's gonna be here.
Okay, let me tell you where they need to go to find the movement I'm talking about that's out there. And we've been out there since, I want to say, the 90s. The person who came up with the whole concept idea, it's a lady, she's out of Dallas, Texas, and she was locked up in prison. And then she came with this vision, and then she hooked up with me and a bunch of other people, and we got it going. And it's an impact into the world. It's called Bajito Anda. It's Bajito. Google it, YouTube it. The whole movement pulls up. We're backed by everybody. JC Penney's. I mean, I can name all kinds of people, but they're sponsor us. We're backed by them all. That's the movement. Tap into that, and you'll see the other side that you're not seeing, because they try to keep us from being seen. But if you tap into Bajito Anda, okay, let me spell it again. Bajito Onda. It's a brother and sisterhood movement that we have been doing since the early 90s, and like I said, it's powerful. Once you tap in, you'll see what we got going on. We tap into the prisoners on a daily basis. They give us their prison art. They're in there crying. They're crying, using their art, crying tears and crying out with their logos and their artwork. We put them on T-shirts. We put them on posters. We put them on the social media now. And we throw car shows. We do lowrider bike car shows. we do all that stuff, and our whole movement, we're coming there, and once we leave, it's like a change of life. Your mindset changes because we bring nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're coming there and you need, not what you want, whatever you need, we bringing it there that day into your town, your city, or whatever. You know, we bring it all. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah. So it's a movement. It's right now as I speak. You guys tap into that, and you'll see, and you'll start seeing the change. And you got people who are in there are lifers. You know what I'm saying? They're lifers speaking out. Like Tukey Williams, he used to speak out. You know, he did a lot of monster stuff. You know, then he got locked up. No one can try to tell someone that they're not changed. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, he came to Sacramento, was a governor or whatever, and he didn't see a change or whatever from him looking. You don't know the heart and mind. Only God knows the heart and mind. You can't tell. God says you will change in a moment. You know what I'm saying? And that's quicker than a second. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know. You might know their old bad character, and then they could change, and they're different. And yeah, the action, you know, it's the actions though. Your actions got to be a change, you know, not your words. A lot of people talk. Yeah, a lot of so-called gangsters that weren't no gangster when I was growing up. I didn't see you doing anything. You wasn't on the street. You wasn't doing anything. You know what I'm saying? And now they didn't see a future after they graduated. They had no future. So now they're gangsters, and we're the ones that were actually in the streets putting it down for the neighborhood, protecting our neighborhood. Now we're trying to do professional corporation, different type of stuff. And you're trying to be where we used to call you and say, hey, you come and roll with us to go do this. And I got to stay home with my mom, or I got to watch my sister. But now you're gangster and stuff. And now you want to come mess with the people who are trying, we changed our lives around, and now we're trying to do the right thing in life. And now you don't have no future because you don't love yourself. First of all, it all starts with the love of yourself. They don't love themselves. They didn't try to go find a future or a hobby or whatever and try to, work towards it. So they just become deadbeats. You know what I'm saying? And then they get upset at the ones that used to be the way they're trying to be now. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not trying to do the same thing that person. We already did all that. Right. We already lived all that. You know what I'm saying? There's a time to grow. You can't stay a child all your life. You got to become an adult. There's a difference. Yes. There's a child, and it gets to a certain age, and then you become an adult, and then you go forward. Not saying that you're going to be soft, because God has his soldiers in the Bible. A lot of people are not even reading the Bible, and I don't understand why they don't study that. They read comic books. They read the Inquirer. They read the Inquirer and all that stuff. If you read in the Bible, you'll see stories that you like to see. There's negative and evil in there, but there's always a reason for why that negative or evil happened. And God has his soldiers. He has Josiah. Study Jehu. You cannot run up on him or them and their squad. You would get demolished, and you'll say, "Oh, I thought God's of love." Oh, he is of love, but he has to destroy certain things because you're coming evil and negative, and your character is gonna bring other people to be evil and negative. So you got to destroy that. It's like when you get your fruit off the tree, you got a bad apple. You leave that bad apple with all the good apples, eventually it's gonna corrupt all the apples. Or weed, like a weed growing around your flower. You leave the weed, there's green grass, you leave all that, the weed one's gonna eventually turn all the other ones into brown and yellow, and then they're gonna choke out your flower or your fruit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So a lot of people don't have role models in their home, okay? Because they have these deadbeat parents that had no future. They just, I don't know what happened to them. I will say everyone has a reason. We just don't be knowing what's going on in their life. You know what I'm saying? But it all starts with the parents. So if you're a believer in God or not, He's coming to the forefathers of our parents. It all started with that, because he said the generations that hate me. So he's coming to all the ones, our grandparents that hated him, turned their back on him. He's destroying them, okay? And God created us, and yes, God is of love, but he cannot continue to have evil and negative, and you will never see that in heaven. So if you like that stuff down here, you might as well live it to the fullest, because when his return comes, he's destroying you and all the people who believe in that same mind frame. You are not going to heaven. And Satan already lost. Satan has to go to God to get permission to even bother you. And the funny thing about it, Satan doesn't even bother you. Right. You bother yourself. You bother yourself, and some man who claims he's a Satanist or whatever, you know what I'm saying, he's trying to say he's of the devil, whatever, manipulating you. He's not connected to the devil. He's doing all this evil stuff, and Satan sits back and laughs. He's laughing. And him and his demons sit back and laugh at all you people out there claiming witches and devil and warlocks and all that stuff. All that stuff is getting ready to be destroyed. And if our forefathers of America was here, you would have never, ever got to practice any of that or even saw all that. You would have got that from reading a book, because they escaped it from Europe to come to America to set up righteousness. Read your Bill of Rights. Read your amendments. Just read the 10 Commandments. There's nothing wrong with the 10 Commandments. The first 4 of the commandments is your personal relationship with you and God. The last 6 of your commandments is your personal relationship with your neighbor. And your neighbor's not next door. Your neighbor is anyone who comes in the presence of you. Those are your neighbors. So a lot of people don't have the leadership guiding them into righteousness. You're either going to live for righteousness or you're going to live for the wickedness. You're going to there's no in between, gray area, on the fence, all that stuff. That's all Babylon confusion. You're either living right or wrong. All you guys who have been locked up before thinking you're tough, you're saying that stuff to us now while you're out, but inside there's a whole different story told about you. Right. How you lived and who you were, if you were a female man, all that stuff is being told to the real people from the streets. So you're only blinding and you're only blinding the people who don't study into that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But if you're connected, you know who's real and who's not real. It comes to you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not fiction, it's facts. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes soon as something goes down to someone you know or someone you don't know. It from the pen or juvenile hall, YA, whatever. I think they closed that down, but whatever. Any of those type of places or just in the streets itself, it's going to get to the real generation of those who actually live that life. And like I said in one of my other interviews, we talk all this stuff over our music, and then we show up to a neighborhood in a different state or city or whatever. Those guys that are real about the business, they show up. That's why they call it tap in. You got to tap in before you come here. Yeah. If you just come here, they're coming at you. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do that back then, but they do that now. But they did show up back then. We'll come there. We're from Sacramento. We come to Oakland. They're there. They're right at you. You know what I'm saying? And they're testing you because the stuff you're saying on your music. Right. And then that's when people started having bodyguards and security, and that don't mean nothing either. Because they know you're bringing that, so they're ready for that too. You know what I'm saying? So some people make it out, some people don't make it out. You're going there to do a show, you come back in a coffin, back to your family in the coffin. Yep. Yeah, you guys people got to start taking this stuff real. I know it's entertainment, like Stephen King and all them. They make these movies, you know what I'm saying, and we watch them and stuff. Some people leave out of the movie theater believing in this stuff, that's delusion. And then there's some people who don't believe in that stuff, okay? But then you got the rappers, they go in there, you hang around them, and they don't live none of that life, but they rap it on their music, you know what I'm saying? And then they go to another city, and then the people come their way, and now they're running, they run, they you know what I mean? They're hiding. They're trying to hide now. Why are you hiding? You just said you killed all these many people, and you do this and you do that and that and this, you know what I'm saying? And what that did was that made King Vons, that made the Little Dirks, you know what I'm saying? Because they're growing up as kids into that. They're like, oh, okay, this is how we gotta be, you know what I'm saying? So they took it serious. You as a studio actor, poser, gangster rapper, these guys grew up on your music, took it serious, and they're out there actually doing the stuff, and then they're rapping about it in the drill, you know, the drill music, all that. They're rapping exactly what they do, and then they're getting locked up too. But those from way back started that type of talk in their music. You know, the main person that started the whole concept of that was Schoolie D. You know, he's from Philadelphia. He was the first one to start that stuff. And then Ice-T was a fan of his. And then as Ice-T started singing that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then NWA, and then everyone just started, you know, joining in singing that stuff, you know. And it was entertainment, but it was started selling money. The money part of it made people continue that. It wasn't them trying to think they're bad, like Easy Boys in the Hood. You know, the money came in. They started seeing it. Oh man, this is making money. Then let me rap about it. Like Too Short, you know what I'm saying? Doing the player type rap and stuff. He saw that he was selling records with the money on that, you know, with the records. Then he got involved and he just started rapping that stuff. It's paying his bills. You know what I'm saying? And then when you meet them in person, it's a whole different character. Some of them start trying to act that character because they, you know, because they rapped it, but they're not really trying to be that, but they kind of do it. You know, they don't really want to do it because they know the penalty to it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, they know the ending results to it. So we got to stop being blind.
Right.
We got to stop being blind to what's really going on out there.
Yep, definitely. I feel like that anyone that is in a gang, I feel like that you should make a change by, you know, getting into with the politician. People say that the politician is different from a gang. No, they're in their own set, but also the politician is like their own gang. So I feel like that if we come together, because I've been around some big meetings, going to award shows with some big people that are in the White House and people in the State House of Boston. And, you know, when you sit there and you talk to them and they find out I have a podcast, they're like, we need the gangs to come together with the politicians because we can make a bigger movement and come together to get these kids to act right in school. Back in the day, they used to hit kids with the rulers in school. People don't understand that unless you didn't deal with that. I know a lot of people got their butt kicked in school with the ruler by the nuts. My principal. And stuff like that. And it's like, you know, people need to understand if we can't put our hands on children, right? But no one else should be able to put our hands on our children. But the schools need to understand where these children are coming from. Think about it. After COVID, half of the families separated because they were together too much, too long. They couldn't handle the pressure. And then there's so many broken families right now, but we need to bring families back together. Also, we need the schools to understand these children, not downplay them. Like there's so many teachers that have gotten arguments saying some slick things and thinking I wasn't going to say anything to sticking up for the children. I'm going to stick up for any children. If I hear you call a child a bitch and you're in the school system, you shouldn't have your job. Because if I was to call you a bitch, I would get kicked out of the school from the security or something else. You might call the police on me or something like that. And, you know, that's what we need to do. We need to stick up for our rights, for our children. Everybody needs to do that. And I believe in my heart, because I know a lot of people that are, you know, I'm not in no game, but I know people because I've been to meetings and things like that. And I know a lot of people in jail and things. We need to come together and, you know, work with the people that are in the White House to make a difference. Because, you know, we all need to make changes about putting new laws together and making them work so the children have a structure. And that's major. People don't understand that. We need to bring CCD back. We need to bring Bible studies back. You know, all these churches closed, all these rapes things happen in the churches, but we need to stop it and we need to put a foot down and we need to protect these children. These children been through hell and high water. If you're not connected with any children, if you don't have children, trust and believe,
I'm out there. I'm out there in different hoods, reaching out to these children to put in their mind what I've been through when I was getting raped and no one was helping me. And I had to hold that in my heart because my own mother did not believe me when I was growing up. And I was getting raped by my stepbrother every single week. And, I'm trying to fight for my life and go to school, deal with that. And it's like, I don't want to see nobody get raped. When I hear that, I'm like, okay, this got to end right now. If something happens in the school system, I'm right there being an advocate for these children because they're not sticking up for themselves because they don't know how to stick up for themselves. So they're acting out. But they need to understand, we need to all unite together, and it all starts with the streets coming with the politicians with the children, work with the children. They don't have nothing. So that's why that I need to make money. There's not enough jobs for the children. They're trying to make money. They want to get these things. Things are so expensive, and it's hard. If I was a millionaire, trust and believe, I would adopt so many children because I know how hard it is out there. And it's like, it kills my heart when I hear stuff. I have kids cry to me. They don't even know me. But once they hear when I talk to them at an event, or if I'm going to the church and I'm there talking, helping out, they love me because I always keep it real to the heart to tell them, what to do. That you got to stay focused. You can't drop out of high school. You can't get pregnant in high school. That is your future. Don't have a record in the middle school. Don't have a record in the high school because that's going to affect you all the way for the rest of your life when you want a real job with a suit and tie. Even if you don't make it to college, just get that high school diploma. That is the major thing. And if you can't get it, get a GED. That is major. And, all these parents that forcing these kids to, oh, you got to go to college and stuff. You really shouldn't be forcing that. Force them on focus on the high school. You're putting so much pressure on them when they want to get a job, but you're pressuring them to go to college when they got to study, and then they really want to make money, but they can't make the money, and then they start stealing. Then they start doing robberies. Then they start doing this. And we got to stop that. We can't allow that. And that's why we got to be more interactive with these kids. If you're at the park, if you're a grown man playing basketball and you see a whole bunch of kids and they look like they're ready to get into some trouble, go up to them. Maybe God's coming through you to talk to them to make sure that they don't go do that lick, or they don't go turn around and do something what they're planning. Because you could tell when someone's ready, when they're strapped up, or you see a hammer on them, or if you see something, if you see a 13-year-old with a knife, what the frig you doing with the knife at 13 years old? You don't need that. You go back to boxing. We need to bring the fist back. Don't bring the weapons. I remember getting so many fights over situations, but I fought. I really fought a lot. I got in a lot of fights, and I'm not proud to say that, but it's the facts. I got kicked out of a high school, like some real deep stuff, but it's what I've been through. So it's like, I would like to keep on going what I do. That's why I do my show. Like you're an advocate. You're an artist / advocate. That's how I look at you. You're making a difference. You're trying to make a difference for other people that might not have a second chance. And when you're in jail, I know so many people. I got a lot of people locked up right now that they're like, keep my music going, G. Keep me going. Don't let no one forget me. I've lost a couple of OGs that were legends in Boston, and it's like, I'm disappointed in a lot of people because the OGs put a lot of people on, and since they're not here no more, they're like, oh, I don't need to promote them. I don't need to. No, you do. You need to keep it going because they believed in you. Even if they're in heaven or hell, or they're locked up, keep them going, though, to keep them something motivated to come out. You never know. When they listen to the radio, they might hear their music on the radio on certain nights when they play local artists. And that's what we need to do. I stress this, and I've been saying it since COVID. I cried when COVID hit, telling people, because I was on DBN television every Wednesday, and I was letting people know what I was seeing at different states when I was going to New York, when I was going to Detroit. It's different everywhere, but everyone is suffering. But if we all come together, we can make a big difference. I'm telling you, I believe it, and that's what God wants. God doesn't want these kids acting like an animal in school. in the way that they strip search these kids, I feel like it's really against their right. And these children need to know that they have rights under 18 years old, different states. They're not allowed to be doing what they do in school. And they get away with it because parents don't know what's going on and they don't know the rights. But you need to know. Look it up. Google it. These children, you need to be an advocate. There's too many of these kids, the vaping. The vaping is number one. They got vaping smoke detectors in the school. But kids are getting blamed for vaping when they're not even vaping because of the other bathroom being connected to this bathroom, so the detectors go off, and then they strip search it. You got to understand, these kids are getting strip searched in high school, middle school, and they're getting their rights taken away right then and there over vaping. I understand they're not supposed to be doing it, but come on, guys. They're not in jail. Don't be strip searching these kids. Don't be patting these kids down. And really, are they doing a background on these security officers that are in these schools? Like really doing a full, full circle background check and making these security officers in these schools. You really got to do your research because I see these kids getting harassed. I've witnessed it multiple times in schools, different schools, and it's out of control. It's gone out of control, and it needs to stop. And I believe by the streets coming to the politicians, to the White House, I really feel that is how we're going to make a difference. We're going to make new laws that we can pertain to and let the industry with the hip hop continue. We used to have people come to the schools and talk to the kids that we're getting gang banging and we're active and being like, listen, I was gang banging at 12 years old. I stole a car at 15. Me, personally. I got arrested at 15 years old, stolen car at 15. Me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've been through shit that I'm here to tell these kids, listen, you don't want to be behind a police car nowadays. When I was a kid, it was different. Now they'll send you right out of your parents' home. You're going to a foster care, and you're going with the big boys that are inside, and they're going to eat you alive. And some of them will rape you inside. They don't understand. They don't care how old you are. That's what is going on. And we need to wake up. We're not promised today. We're not promised tomorrow. But we do have the Bible that has been around, and I know it's been reamped and redone. But we got to come together, unite in everywhere. Police with the streets, streets with the police. And I know there's been terrible, tragic people that passed away. Trayvon Martin. A lot of innocent people, unfortunately, that got killed by police. But I feel like if we redo everything from the politicians to the gang banging, to the people in the streets, and come together, we can make more afternoon programs for the kids, because people that are rich, they'll come together, unite, because they're in the politician, they're in the White House, they're in the State House. They can do it. It's just a matter of fact of the connection. And if there's less violence, they're more able to come together and unite. But parents really need to pay attention to what is happening in schools, because when I was in school, it's so much different. These teachers, they get away with murder. The principals, they get away with murder. And I'm telling you this because I've done it. I've got arguments with teachers and principals, and you got to put your foot down. Parents need to really wake up, really find out what's going in your school, because a few years ago, one of the schools, they got shut down because of them abusing the kids. And you got to really understand that a security officer should not be allowed to go in no stall when no child is going to the bathroom. Point blank. I don't care if the vape machine's going off, the vape alarm's going off. Point blank. That's a violation. A violation, because if I was to walk into a stall and I see someone, I'm going to jail. And I have to register as a sex offender. It's
so
that's why I commend you, Sub-Zero. You make a big difference. And I'm really proud of you. you know, where you started and where you're at and how much you accomplished in your major. And that's important because we need more people like you. And I hope one day you do run for politician instead of, you know, your music's amazing. So don't take this the wrong way.
Oh
But
no,
you're something
I'm doing
bigger.
all kinds of stuff.
Huh?
I'm doing I've been doing music since the '80s, so that's not like my number one. We
No, but
just
I feel like you're more powerful and God could use
my
you.
title now is community developer. That's my
I
title.
love
Yeah.
it. Because I feel like you're a very powerful man. And I feel like that, you know, when they going, oh, vote for this person, vote for that person. But I feel like you can be one of those people that are in the White House. I feel like you have that power that we need to be, like you say, you stamp your name to get the people released from the jails. We need you in the White House to make a difference for the youth that are the upcoming youth and the future, because they all children of the future, but they don't really have a future if everything's getting locked down, shut down. And imagine, look what happened in South Korea the other day. They got the Martians. Oh, what's they I was talking about this yesterday. They South Korea got the martial law in effect. Now imagine when 2025 comes, we already had that. And wake up, when Corona hit, we had the Martians. Remember, you had a curfew. You weren't in there, and now South Korea, they say that they can shoot to kill if they're out. So imagine what else can happen. And that's why I feel in my heart, Sub-Zero, I really feel that you should be running in the White House. I don't know what position, but you really have that gift that we need you in there. Not somewhere down here. We need you more up in the White House. And I really feel that. I know that you're in Sacramento, California, but I really feel like when Obama, when he was president, he interacted with people that were in the streets and gangs because he understood, you know, where to make the difference. Where do we need the money to go here? You know, there's so much going on, and people really need to wake up. Like, that's why I share my show's not just about the podcast. It's about waking up.
Yes.
About the Bible. What's going on in our world? You know, people dying, getting hung from the tree again. Like, come on, we're not supposed to be going back in time. We're supposed to make a difference in the future. You know, things, all it takes is 2 seconds like this for everything to go haywire. Imagine South Korea already did that law. How many other places are going to do that law? Think about it. We already had that law when Corona was here. You don't think they can bring that back like this around where we are? Of course they can.
They're going to be doing a lot of stuff towards us.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of stuff's getting ready to happen, but God says he will keep his children in perfect peace. So
Amen.
if you're just waking up in the morning and thinking about self and not giving him the grace, the prayers, and thanking him for everything he's blessed you and done for you in your daily, life, then you're going to get caught up in that. It's called a snare. You're going to get caught up in those snares. Now, if your mind stayed upon him, like he says, then he's going to bring, there's going to be a peace over you. Like, I don't know if you read the story of Jeremiah. Jeremiah was going through all kinds of crazy stuff in the Bible. And then at the end, they came in and started destroying the people around him. And just, it was a lot of destruction going on. And Jeremiah was just walking around like nothing's happening. That's because God's peace came over him, because every day before he walked out of his home or out of their tent or whatever back then, he prayed. You know what I'm saying? He stayed prayed up.
Yeah.
That's the power.
Yeah.
That's the power to it all. If you're not praying and if you're not studying, then you're doomed. And it doesn't matter what law, it doesn't matter what laws are in effect, what people are doing, destroying people, whatever. If you are not connected to the creator who created the earth and created all things, then you're doomed. There's nothing you can do about it. And that's when you're going to see the 4 horsemen show up. And the main one, the main horseman, he wears the hood, and but he don't have a skeleton face. That's all confusion Babylon stuff. He has a beautiful face, and he has the sickle. He's part of the 4 horsemen. He's from God's people. He's not from the devil. The devil has people's mind twisted with the skeleton face and all evil looking, like he's part of the devil coming to bring death. No. He's coming to bring death. He represents death, but he's doing it for God. He's coming to clean house on the negative and the evil people. So all you people waking up negative, waking up evil, your day's coming. This whole earth is going to be full of bloodshed. You know what I'm saying? But the ones of God that are covered in his blood are going to be up there watching all the destruction go down on earth with the child molesters, with the people who are raping people, with the pastors that are manipulating you, getting your money and manipulating you, doing stuff. There's true pastors though. God says my people are in all folds. So it don't matter what religion you try to tell me you're from. Don't matter any of those type of titles, a pastor, a captain, or just a teacher, a philosopher. What is your personal relationship with God like? Because if you ain't got that, your title means nothing to me. Yes. Right. And he's going to be destroying all these, like Noah, in Noah, in the flood. You know what I'm saying? There were people who believed in God and stuff in Noah's flood. Yeah, they went to Bible college. They had the wicked people. They had everyone, just like right now. It was foretold back then, and it's going to come again. But this time, it's not going to be a storm with weather and rain and stuff. This time, it's going to be hellfire. And a lot of people think it's under the earth right now. That's a Catholic teaching. I'm not Catholic. I'm Protestant. That's a Catholic teaching, and there's nothing burning under the ground right now. Hellfire is like those little pebbles of hell that comes down on your car, and you be outside sometimes, like pebbles, big snowballs coming down, like little snowballs. That's called hell. That's what we call it too. We say, oh, it's helling outside. Well, it's going to be big boulders of that coming down with fire on there. The song Purple Rain, the song Purple Rain, listen to what Prince is saying. Prince is talking about hellfire and just about everything about the end of earth coming. All his music, if you really listen to the ones that have the messages in it, Sign of the Times, all that stuff, he's kicking spiritual foretold stuff that's getting ready to come to us before it happens. Yeah, so hellfire is going to be coming down, boulders of fire. God's going to have fire coming. Everyone's going to be burned up that way. That's hellfire. The other teaching that you're getting about under the ground and whatever, and then they say that they'll pray for your parents and all them so they won't burn under the ground. All that is to manipulate you to get your money. Yeah. And if you study the life of Martin Luther, not the black dude, the German white guy, Martin Luther, he's part of the Reformation of the Protestants, okay? The Lutherans, he was a Catholic, okay? He was a Catholic. He worked his rank all the way up into the rank, and he saw all the crazy stuff the popes were doing, and the bishops and the cardinals, and all those people were doing crazy stuff in the church that he loved so dearly. So he fought against it. That's how the Protestant Reformation, all that stuff started kicking in. Protestant means protest. The word protest is in the beginning of Protestant, and they're against anyone who's against God, okay? Against God and his words and his scriptures and all that stuff. And the Bible, it was only put here because we used to have a connection, like Enoch and Elijah and Noah and Moses. They would talk to God straight, boom. There was a connection, straight boom. Yeah, straight boom. And then he had to create a book because that's what people mostly like to see things. They want to see it. They don't have like true faith. You know what I'm saying? They believe in things, and so does the devil and his demons. They believe in things too. because they were in heaven with him in war. You know, in the beginning when heaven was first created, they were there, and then they were cast out with Satan. It was a missing third. There's a third of them that left with Satan down onto the earth. God gave earth to the devil. So a lot of the stuff going on is from God giving the earth to the devil. So there's nothing we can do about it. But God does say, come out of her, my people, touch not the unclean things. And he's telling you to come to him and start touching the clean things and to become righteous, live in righteousness. And righteousness is by faith. So it's called righteousness by faith. You're living just like you believe you're getting a paycheck. Some jobs pay you cash or whatever that day, but there's a lot that do weekly or every 2 weeks, and you're working your butt off, and that Friday or that next Friday, you get your check. You had faith that you're going to get your check. Yes. So that's what faith is not seeing it, and you're doing the works and doing the actions to something, and you're not seeing it. That's what true faith is. Yeah. So those who have true faith in God and his kingdom and his structure are going to be the ones that he's going to protect, like he did Jeremiah, like he did Noah, like he did Elijah, Enoch, and Moses, and Josiah, Jehu, Apostle Paul. You know, just all those people, they had the covering, even though sometimes we allow the flesh. It's our flesh that overpowers. God did not create robots. He created beings that willingly he wanted to, you know, like you love your dad and you love your mom, willingly love, not forced love. Forced love comes from certain religion churches. They're evil on you, they're negative on you, and they're trying to force you. They say you can't do this, you can't do that, and it's like you're like, man, this doesn't feel like God, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like a God thing, and it's not. It's the devil. It's the devil's children in these organizations, and I don't care what organization it is. I've been around all of them, and that same darkness, evil is in all of them. Okay, and then you got your true ones that fight against it, and that's why I was talking about Martin Luther. He died as a Catholic. Then the Lutheran Church formed. He doesn't even know that exists, because he's still in the ground. He don't know the Lutherans even exist. Those were people who believed in his teaching, and then when he died, they formed a church called the Lutheran Church. Okay, but he died a Catholic, and that's why the Lutherans and the Catholics are still connected. You know, they have their differences, but they're still connected because he was a Catholic. Okay, and they all came out of the Catholic Church. Yeah. So you will have your people rise up from darkness and then see the light, and then they change from the twinkling of the eye. Their character changes, their mannerism, everything changes in front of you, that you knew this person was all evil and bad and whatever. Like the Night Stalker. I don't know if you remember Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker that would go out raping people and gouging their eyes out and putting their blood all over the wall after he killed you. He changed in prison. He became a Protestant. He changed and turned into, you know, he used the title Christian. The word Christian means Christ-like. That's what it means. So if I'm careful on using that word. So if someone says I'm a Christian, they need to see the life of Jesus, or whatever name you want to use for Jesus. It don't matter. Are you living right? That's the bottom line. So whatever name you want to use for him, if your life is not reflecting his life, then you're not a Christian. Okay, because Jesus did not. You got to study the life of Jesus from a child all the way until he turned 30. Okay, his ministry started at 30 and he died at 33. And he did not tell you to leave your parents' house at 18. That's to fumble you up in life. Okay, oh, you're 18 now, get out there. They're not even ready yet. Jesus didn't leave his parents' home till he was 33. He was his mind, his body.
Uh-oh, you're frozen. Oh, man. We're having some technical difficulties. Just bear with us. Just bear with us. He's frozen right now. I apologize. This is a good interview. from Sacramento, California to Buster 617. We're going to get him back on here. There was a bad connection. I see everyone tuning in. Salute, salute, put your codes in countries. Salute. T.A. Green, salute. Twan, salute. Anthony, salute. Marvin, I see you. I see Boston 617 on here. I see 718 Brooklyn, New York in the building. I see Jamaica on here. Much love and respect, everyone. We're internationally, not just local. Salute, salute, everybody. This is a deep conversation, a deep interview. We are going to get him back on here. I'm not too sure if his phone died or his computer, but give him a couple minutes to get back on here. This is Sub-Zero, the one and only. Like he said, he's the one and only. He's been in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2020. Here we are. You know, that's history right here. He's kicking acknowledgement. You know, this is a very important, 02124 in the building. Salute. I appreciate everyone. Anyone wants to interview on the Iccy Show, I am booking until February, but I do have 2 cancellations in January, so inbox me. All my interviews are $50. We are not just local. Every state, every country. When I say that, I mean it, and that's how the Iccy Show started with 7, but here we are, every state, every country. Shout out to Legal Mob Entertainment, Miss BK, the one and only. I'm telling you, this is what the Iccy Show is about, to teach acknowledgement to other people, so we can make a difference for our world, so we can have a peaceful world, so the children can have a future. And this is important, very important. I hope I can get him back on here. We had a hard time getting him on here, but this is a great interview. Salute to everyone on here. Marvin, thank you for the stars. Salute, salute. Peace Slums in the building. He'll be on the Iccy Show coming up in the next month, so stay tuned on that. Reggie, salute. I'm trying to see who else is on here that's been on here. Giving everyone the shout outs. Ray, I see you still on here. Rob, peace, everyone. We're just going to get him back on here. I think his, Kevin, I see you. Salute. I appreciate you. Always making Iccy Show flyers. Always doing a great job. E. Burton, salute. So what I'm going to do is give him a couple of seconds to get on here, see if he does. If not, make sure you check Sub-Zero out, the one and only. Check him out on his Facebook, his Instagram. Check him out on all the other websites he was saying. All the children of the future, and we're their voice. So always we got to make a difference, and we got to start now, not tomorrow. I've been saying this for 6 years on the Iccy Show. Because some of the security schools be acting like they're wild. Students at time need background checks. Yes, Anthony, that's so true. I'm telling you, that's very true. That's important. Give him a couple more minutes, see if he comes on here. I think his computer died. Let's see. Get him back on here. I'm gonna accept you, King. Telling you, this is a deep interview. You see how long we've been going for? 2 hours and some change. So this is deep. This is one of the deepest interviews I've done. Take acknowledgement of this. This is facts. It's not fiction. I'm telling you, the Iccy Show always gets cracking. International, local, state to state. When I mean it, I mean it. We're connected like this. I appreciate you, Anthony. I appreciate that. We're going to get you on here, DJ. I can't wait for the sound check. It's giving me the problem again about adding you. I'm going to send it to you. Hold on. I gave you the invite now. See if you get it, hopefully. I pray to God so we can at least get you all your social medias. Tatiana, I see you. I see you. Salute, salute. And my condolences to anyone who has lost anyone. I know a couple of people that have passed this week. My deepest condolences. I see you, Mimi, on here. Salute, Mimi. I appreciate you. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. I tried it. This is interview 684 interviews I've done in 6 years. No one has done that many interviews but me. Repping for Boston 617. So always know that, everyone. No one has done as many interviews have I done in 6 years. Anyone can say they have. I want the proof. I got the proof on my record. 684. This is number 684 in 6 years. I'm telling you, when I say I'm connected in the industry, I'm connected. And I just sit back and stay humble because I know who I'm connected to. A lot of you be talking riffraffing. I'm going to send it again to you, Prince. It says adding. Dang. I hope I get you back on here. If I can't get you back on here, put all your social medias in the comments, but I would love to get you back on here. It says adding. Yeah, 6 years strong, but I've been in the industry since 2008. Hosted nightclubs, having Sarianos in Lynn, Massachusetts, having Taboo on Saugus, Massachusetts. So I've been in the industry. I'm telling you. Under Massive Hustle Records, under Legal Mob Entertainment, Free Bands. We got that movie. We're doing the blue carpet in March in Jacksonville, Florida. Stay tuned on that. I'm telling you, we lit. I'm not just saying what I'm doing it. And I do it for the kids. Everyone's kids, not just mine. I'm sending it again to you. Are you on your phone or your computer died? They're riff-raffing. Yes, they're riff-raffing. You like my riff-raffing? But it's true. That's why I stay true blue, baby. I love you. All my aces. Salute, salute, everybody. We're trying to get him back on here. We're having some technical difficulties, but I pray to God we get him on here. This was a deep interview. This is one of the best ones I can say I've done. We kicked a lot of acknowledgement. And you know who he is? Do your research. Definitely do your research on him. Sub-Zero, the one and only. You heard it from his mouth in the 80s. So all that Sub-Zero that's on Mortal Kombat, they took his name. Like he said, he's taking it to court. Got to have everything in. I got my certification of the Iccy Showw. That's why you got to get everything stamped. You know, that's why I spell it ICCYSHOWW, because I own it. I used to spell it ICYSHOW. Love you too, sis. Definitely, definitely love you. All right, so I'm going to end this interview. I'm going to tell him to put all his information on here. Much love and respect to everyone. Share this. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Make sure you link with him. The one and only Sub-Zero. I'm telling you. So this is interview 684. God bless everyone. Free the jails. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. And link with Sub-Zero, the artist that was just on here. I'm telling you, he's the one that signs people out of jail. You just heard his signature means a lot. Pay attention who I'm connected to. Peace, love, and respect. Happy holidays.